figure out how to stop breathing heavy through the microphone.
All right, well,
Welding for 6 hours today didn't help that either.
what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Marsh Boys Podcast. I'm Brian,
I'm Ryan.
and today we are joined by the legendary Jeff Stanfield of the Big Honker Podcast. How you doing tonight, Jeff?
I'm doing wonderful, but I don't know about all that legendary bullshit, but thank you very much.
You're allowed to be humble every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, legendary don't quite fit, but I do appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys having me on again.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on again.
Yeah, absolutely. So, real quick before we jump into everything else we talk about, on the hunting side of things, how was your season? How was everything like that for 25, 26?
If I described it as dog shit, would that pretty much sum up a terrible hunting season?
Yeah, I can see that.
We had birds from day one season, and it was terrible. Except for every month, it was pretty good. But the last part of January, the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season, were lights out. But
Yeah.
the rest of the year was it was a
Did you guys get a
hard
really
year.
good cold push, or?
We did at the end of the year, but we didn't all year long. It was just kind of steadily getting colder and colder. But we have calendar birds, and them calendar birds showed up with PhDs this year.
Just smart birds.
It was a hard season. And, as we do a public hunting series, and so we talk to people from all over, and I've yet to find very people that have had a good season.
Yeah, I mean, so I did want to ask you about that, but real quick, I'll just say, I think the majority of people in New Jersey would tell you we had a really good year once we opened our full season. So most of our full seasons open in December. I think one start December, we went December all the way through January. Everybody had a pretty good season. You know, the geese were here indefinitely. The ducks were here, everything else. The only thing that really didn't show up at all this year was snow geese. We had a really lackluster snow geese season.
But it was really, really cold this year for us. So
Yeah.
that's probably partly to do with it.
I can't remember if we have La Nina this last year, El Nino, or whatever it was.
El Nino. That was this one.
You know, I've heard you guys talk about that before separately, and what does that mean? El Nino and all that stuff.
The wind and storm system.
Okay.
Well,
Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, right?
Yeah. One of them, the Pacific water cools down more, and one of them, the water's warmer. And I think El Nino's weather or warm water, and we're Nino, which helps out because we have more rain and stuff when we have an El Nino or La Nina. I get them, and I taste tornadoes, but I'm not a meteorologist. But a big deal. One of them, in the Pacific Ocean, is cooler or hotter, and it's your patterns. And when it's a certain weather pattern, y'all get more winter and cold than we do.
Okay. I was going to say, isn't it, what is it, the warmer, at least in the springtime when you have really warm water and that cool breeze coming over top, it creates more storms?
Yeah, you get your cold. We had a front last night. We didn't get storms. East of us did. But we went from yesterday, the high of 85 or 90, and today it's about 57, 58. We had about a 40-mile-an-hour north winds. Usually when we get a front like that, we get a bunch of thunderstorms. We didn't get them last night. But in the area, we did have them. But the last 3 weeks have been pretty stormy around here, which is good for us.
We had half an hour's worth of rain yesterday morning.
I didn't get any down my way.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just been dry and dry and dry.
But before we get off of it, to put it in perspective, the El Nino, when we got Sandy, that's what we were in because the ocean was warmer. So we could have a hurricane season this year. Maybe, allegedly.
Yeah, weather's never what it used to be like. It don't seem. I didn't realize y'all were in a drought on the East Coast. All the Midwest is in a drought right now, just about.
Yeah, I don't know if I would call it a drought yet. But we get a couple more weeks of this, yeah, we'll be back to where we were in like 2022. 2022 was a bad year.
We had a wet year last year, but we didn't have a lot of runoff rain in our area. But we had a lot of rain. It rained, but it was a half inch, 3/4 of an inch. We weren't getting 3 and 4 inch thunderstorm rains. And right now it's green and beautiful here. But we've had 1 inch of rain, 1/4 inch, a half inch. And our wet season is coming and this is where we get the rain that fills up all Aya lakes.
Oh, okay. I got you. So you guys have a lot of runoff. Do you guys have more runoff lakes than you do natural lakes?
There's not one natural lake in Texas.
Really?
Really?
I didn't know that.
Caddo Lake supposedly is a natural lake. Some people say it's not. If it is, it's the only natural lake in the state. And I don't
Is
think
it?
Oklahoma has got but two or three also.
No shit. Yeah, I didn't know that.
With a state
Yeah.
that big, you'd think there'd be more than one.
Well, it's fucking middle of the desert almost.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, you get into the hill country of Texas, it's beautiful. They got a lot of running rivers stuff. But don't see it.
Yeah.
So does that make it easier for guys? Well, I know. So what? It's like 95% of the state of Texas is private property, right? There's very little state game lands to hunt.
I'm going to say it's probably closer to 99.5%.
So, and you guys had a law that restricted what? It was last year, or the year before, restricted public access to one or two river systems through Texas. Is that correct?
The river system that runs our
Oh,
Yeah,
hold up one second, Jeff. You're cutting in and out real bad
we're
again.
losing you.
Texas River.
There you go.
And
Nope. There you are. Oh,
Yep.
there you go.
There you go.
freaking Verizon, but I'm on our Wi-Fi too.
We got you loud and clear this time.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So what'll happen was the Brazos River where we live at, 20 years ago, if you got on the river, you could hunt as long as you were on the river. You couldn't go past the high water mark. Then they changed it where you couldn't have a motorized vehicle on it. Then it was now you can't be on there at all hardly with anything, which I like because it takes a lot of the poaching out.
Okay. So I'm guessing that you said, what was it, the Brazos River?
The Brazos River. The Colorado River system, which goes from North Texas down to the Gulf of Mexico, they have some of the same rules. And I'm not familiar with all of them, but in the state of Texas, you can hunt most public water. Like you can duck hunt on a lot of on lakes. You just can't get out and walk on the land.
Gotcha. So the water's fine. It's just you can't go past that high water mark.
Yes, and you can anchor a boat and stuff. I know some places that you can be on the river, like I think the Platte River, you cannot put an anchor in the water in Nebraska on the Platte.
Yeah, Jersey kind of works like that. If it's public land, like so, say half the lake's public property, the other half is like owned by a housing development. If you cross over that line and put decoys in or an anchor down, you're technically trespassing.
Yeah, and a lot of states that way. Texas and most lakes is not that way.
Yeah, we have the if you can navigate to it, but it's the same way. You're not allowed to touch down. You got to stay under the high water mark. So if you can float down almost every river in New Jersey and be fine, you just can't touch.
You know, New Jersey's a beautiful state too, and I did not realize. I always saw the Garden State. Until people go there, New Jersey is an amazing, amazing state.
Now you go up to New York every year, right?
Yeah, we usually go to the East Coast at least once a year, sometimes twice a year. We usually tend to go more towards Boston and Maine, but we have spent some time. Matter of fact, a place that I would like to go back to is Cape May, New Jersey. I think it's a beautiful place.
Cape May is a beautiful little town, and I'm not for that kind of culture at all, but it is an amazing spot to go and visit.
When you say culture, what do you mean? A bunch of liberals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they fucked up everything.
Here's what's really funny, and I talked to Ryan about this back at the presidential election. All the shore counties flipped, all of them. So all the shore points are old retirement cities, stuff like that.
For the most part, Atlantic City's usually red, though.
Yeah, but everything from the armpit of New Jersey south flipped red.
There's just that one line through the middle that seems to technically be all of our votes, however the fuck that works. But
Yeah.
It's called stealing in the ghettos.
Yeah. If you look at the last couple president elections, New Jersey's almost all red from a county perspective. But like Ryan said, most of our population is
That
Trenton,
strip-
Brick, up there,
that strip
Manahawk,
from
and
Trenton to New York, that highway system, whatever's right there, and everything following it is the only part of it that was blue.
That's the way Michigan is. Minnesota. Minnesota's the same way. You get out of the shithole of Minneapolis and everything's red.
Minneapolis. I've never heard
Yeah, I don't
that
think there's a lot of hope going on up there.
one.
Oh, them poor fuckers. You know, they're. I don't know what you want to talk about, but since we're talking about Minnesota, I will say this:
Anything and everything.
Friday, the state of Minnesota and California, the Democratic state legislation passed rules about them doing any kind of investigation in the fraud. They don't even want them to check it out. That tells you how crooked that shit is.
Well,
Really?
yeah,
Yep,
they're going after money. They know where that money's going. They don't want you to find out about it.
that's exactly right. But in Minnesota, with Keith Ellison and dumbass Tim Waltz, the state doesn't want them to investigate them because they know they're crooked.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I haven't been following up on any of that since I guess the initial
I meant,
push.
so me and Ryan talk every day on the ride home, bitch about traffic, everything like that, driving through the greater Philadelphia area,
Scream out the window.
which is a treat.
Mm-hmm.
You got to experience if you get the chance. Um, I meant to tell him Thursday I was going from one plant to another, and I saw a truck from Minnesota with a sticker that said Walls 2028 on it. How fucking blind do you have to be to see everything that happened with him and they'd be like, okay, yeah, I want him back in?
It's not blindness. It's
Stupid.
they're getting money from him. That's what it is.
Well, he's not even running in 2028. He's already taken himself out of the ballot.
Yeah, and I thought that was the case. Like, he dropped out of everything. He's probably going to go hide somewhere with all his millions of dollars.
You know what I bet that guy was? That was a sticker for Waltz to run for president, I bet you.
Mm.
I hope not.
Oh, that's a dumb. I wish they would run his dumb ass.
Who do you think is going to be? I think it's going to be AOC and Newsom versus Vance and Rubio.
I think
If
it's
I
going
was-
to be Rubio's going to be the next president, I think.
You think so?
I do. I don't think it'll be Vance. I think Rubio. I don't think the Democrats can win, especially if they change some of this stuff. Like the Supreme Court's fixing to rule on this state gerrymander and stuff on all the districts, and they're going to make everything stop being racially motivated. So they're going to do away with all this cutting the damn blue things through all the ghettos and stuff. They're going to change that. If they do this SAVE Act, which is voter ID, I don't think the Democrats can win an election.
No,
I really don't.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think there's so much fraud in the voter system, so many illegals getting to the polls. It's insane. Because there's how many New Jersey is one of them that just did it, is a safe state. They just passed whatever the fuck it's
I
called.
thought we've been a safe state.
No, it passed through March or February, I think. Yeah, so we're in that whole fucking pocket of dumbness. But
The funny thing is, though, it doesn't really affect us out here. It just affects that strip in the middle. That's where they all go. So they can have them. Fuck them.
not Bridgeton.
I guess Bridgeton. We don't go to that.
I'll tell you another factor that's going to play into our next election, and nobody's talking about it yet, is Maduro from Venezuela. They took him out of Venezuela. They didn't kill him for a reason. The Dominion voting machines, they were storing them in Venezuela, a lot of them. He's flipping and telling everybody what's going on up there. I think there's a whole lot of shit fixing to shake loose in the next 15 months. I mean, serious allegations. If it don't, what good did it do to vote all this stuff in? I mean, if we're not going to arrest anybody, I mean, I'm from the Epstein list to the fraud to the hospice fraud to the rail system in California that they spent
That's crazy.
That's
$30 billion. There's not 1 foot of track. All that shit. If you don't stop that shit, how can you expect people like us to keep paying taxes? Why?
Yeah.
There was just a poll that said, I think it was 70% of Americans, and I guess it wasn't like this before. I've always felt like this, but apparently it wasn't like this before. But 70% of Americans feel like they're way overtaxed, which I thought everybody felt like that all the time, but apparently the polls say different.
Who the fuck don't think you're being overtaxed?
Yeah.
Who are the 30%?
What I think it is I think in the last 2-3 years, it's caught up to the higher middle class. The people that were getting by and still saving, still having money to go do what they want. They're like, okay, well, I have to pay this. You know, my property tax went up $200 this year. I think it's starting to catch up to the higher middle class, and that's where you're seeing this percentage change.
Yeah.
People have had enough. I mean, we've had enough of the whole situation. We're getting sick and tired of seeing people like Ilhan Omar. She makes 174,000 a year, but she's accumulated $20 million worth of wealth in the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I make that kind of money. You know how many millions I've saved in the last couple of years? Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, and it's on both sides. I don't think we should
Yes.
just target it. So if you look, and I've talked with Ryan about this before too, these clips that come out of Congress where a Republican is grilling, it was with the Minnesota deal, where they're grilling Walz, they're grilling somebody on the board there about what's going on. But any Democrat could dig into that guy's life and flip the script. You know, there's evil on both sides, and all you're doing is you're calling out the stuff in front of you and protecting your backyard. It's just a whole bullshit scheme, and then, I don't know.
They don't want to be responsible for anything. I think the best way to describe politicians are movie stars or people that wanted to be movie stars, but they were too ugly. So they want the fame, but they don't want their name tied to anything. They just want to be famous and ugly.
Politicians are more famous than actors are now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I should know a senator from New Jersey. I should know. And I know congressmen. I can see him on TV, hear him. I know exactly who it is. How do I know who Amy Klobuchar's ugly ass is? I mean, I should know that shit. I mean, it just blows my mind that in politics is world wrestling is all it is. It's all scripted. I had a Secret Service guy hunt with us.
You can't tell people WWE scripted. We'll have an uprising. That's worse than the politics.
I had a Secret Service guy hunt with us 8 or 10 years ago, and he said if you saw those people talk shit about each other the way they do on TV, and then if you go by and you see them and they're at the gym afterwards and they're sitting talking or they go eat dinner together and they're all buddies. The Republicans want the Democrats to do the Democrat shit. Democrats want the Republicans to do, but they work with each other on the script of who votes against something, but they get their same shit passed all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're crooks. That's why they hate Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not part of their inner circle.
Yeah. And I mean, I do wish he would have followed up on the whole swamp thing. He's clearing out the swamp. I wish we could have seen more of that take place.
You don't think that's going on right now?
I do. But
the only way to get them out of there is to burn that city to the ground.
And I can understand how hard it's going to be because everybody
even if they're out of office, they'll still be consultants.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They'll still be there.
Eric Swalwell is done. And with him is going to go some more people.
I'm sorry. No, I'm laughing. Do you know who Tim Dillon is?
I know that name.
He don't know either.
He's a comedian. I just listened to his podcast about Eric Swalwell, and the whole time he said they're raping, they're beating, they're choking. Like, I don't know. The way he was describing it was fucking hilarious.
Well,
but
they got Anthony Weiner's laptop finally, and they're fixing to release some shit off of it. Swalwell's laptop is just as bad, they said. But they're both sides. It ain't just a Democrat deal, but they're starting to pull some shit out, and the deep state's going way down. I mean, you think all this shit going in Iran, all that shit's all tied together.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, but I'm like everyone else in America. I want to see some sumbitches arrested.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree.
The problem is it'd be most of them.
I'd be fuck it. Get rid of.
That'd be fine with me, but that's why it's not happening. Is because it's most of them. What were you telling me? You were telling me that when the Epstein emails got released, so that somebody else's name was searched every time by people in D.C.
and that's so. What it was is when the Epstein files got released, and I don't know if it was Congress or the House, had a whole room of computers set up that had the files on them. You could go search whatever you wanted. You could see you could search Ryan Sowers, and it would tell you it would bring up every page that he was on, which he's on like 3 pages.
Yeah, my net worth is high enough to be in that list. That's for sure.
And it came back. It was like I'm just gonna guess. I know it was around here 70%. Of the very first name typed in was a name that was not on the list. I don't know how that sounds to you, No, what I'm saying in general. So if the congressman from Texas went in, he searched a name that wasn't on the list first. If a congresswoman from Arizona went in, the first name she searched was not on in
They're
the
looking
files.
for somebody else. That's what it looks like for me. That means that he wasn't the top,
No,
in my
no.
opinion.
What it says to me is that they know, because obviously Epstein, with what he was doing, wasn't good, but he was smart about it. He could connect everybody and everything by a photo. Every A-list celebrity, every top politician, most of them have pictures with Epstein. What I think they were doing, they were going in and be like, okay, my buddy, I know if they were involved, I know my buddy was involved. Let me search his name. Let me see if he comes up.
You know,
Hmm.
I'm not taking up for anything on the Epstein list by any means, but just because someone had a picture with him didn't mean that they were doing any of that shit.
Hmm.
No, and
And
I
and another thing, not just a picture deal, but what's funny is they'd be like, well, Epstein sent an email and talked about somebody. He wasn't fucking stupid. He knew what he was doing. I mean,
mhm.
he's an Israeli agent, I think. It's all
I think he
blackmail.
was too.
Yeah. It,
Most of it, especially with the old PM for Israel, was always going to meet up with him and trying to hide his face when he was going to meet up with him.
if
And
you
but what's the guy's name? Wex? Is it
Lex
Wexner?
Wesner.
Lex
Lex
Wexner.
Wesner.
Why would anybody that's got that kind of money just give their money to someone else like he did?
Blackmail.
Yep.
I think Epstein knew what he was doing, and he left the world's greatest paper trail.
Yes.
So if he got caught, in his mind, everybody else would go down with him because he knew if he got caught, it wasn't good for him.
Yeah.
What happened to him? What happened? And I think he knew
I
that.
think he's still fucking alive. If I would,
I do too.
if I was a
Huh?
betting man, if and it's not Palm Beach Pete like everybody thinks on TikTok. It's not that dude. But there keeps being pictures that come out from places in Israel, and there's a dude that looks just like him, but very disheveled, to kind of hide it. They got
I
rid of the body really quick.
see. I don't think he's living in Israel. I think he's on some private island somewhere, living his
I
best life. I
I
really
feel like
believe.
that.
I believe he's alive.
See, I told Ryan that Hitler was alive. He escaped to Argentina. He called me crazy for 6 months. So maybe I'll flip the script on that one.
There's a
I
lot of people that think Hitler was alive in
Did you
Argentina.
did you ever watch that show, Hunting Hitler?
No, but I've seen. I've watched a lot of shows and read a lot on it. There's a lot of German history in Argentina from around 1941, 42 on when they
There's
started
German
moving shit.
towns.
To this
Yes, very
day,
much so.
in Chile, there is a only German town.
Yep.
100% German. It
Yeah.
that whole I got huge into that show, and Ryan told me I was crazy. It's crazy what they discover.
You wanna talk about something right now that's going on that's not being in the news like it has, and it's just broke. Have you read the deal on the scientists that been dealing with NASA?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
11, 11 top scientists with that have just disappeared
Hmm.
in the Space Force. There's a
Nuclear
general,
scientists too.
yep, a general in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Say one that he says he's the smartest guy in the room. Everywhere he left, he left with a 38 pistol, his wallet, left his phone, and they hadn't seen him since. He was
Hmm.
the head dog, the head
At
guy.
NASA?
He was a retired general, but he was in charge of some of the space stuff. These are all
That's
people that know all about nuclear secrets. They know all
Hmm.
about the space program. They know about the alien shit they've covered up, and they've got 11 of them missing. One lady was in Huntsville, Alabama, and she said, "We have exposed, and I've got to show this on film. What we found out, they found out how to do a gravity motionless motor or something, propulsion systems." And she
Oh
said,
yeah,
"The
they
evil,
disappeared them.
yep, the evil are coming at me left and right now, and I've
Hmm.
got to let people know." She's gone, but there's 11 people, and I finally seen Trump and them address it yesterday, last night, talked about it a little bit. That's breaking freaking news.
The scariest one to me was in California. There's one of the ladies. I think this one that I'm thinking of was the nuclear scientist, and she was hiking with two of her friends, and they were in front of her. They were going and doing their hiking thing. It was almost like they turned around, she was there. They turned around again, she was gone. And when they brought the dogs out to go find her, they found a hat, and her scent just completely stopped at this hat out in the middle of the woods in the middle of nowhere. So it wasn't like they were thrown into a vehicle or something. She's one of the 11.
Have you heard of the mountain will eat you stories ever? You
I
can
don't think
you
I
can you
have.
can you can look this up. There is a group of people that have been on hiking trips or something that just disappear. Something in those mountains supposedly grabs them. That's the end of it. And I mean, you can look it up. It's just like the DIA airport, the portals from Chama, New Mexico to all over to the bases, and supposedly the gray things or whatever the lizards are that. But anyways, there's a big push of people that believe that there's something in the mountains that'll grab you and take you in these hidden caverns. Not saying that's it, and I sound like a total fucking nut job saying this, but
I've seen the cave system
No,
things,
yeah,
but I don't know. I
I've
never
always
looked
heard
into
that
it.
there's a lot of people that believe in these portals. There's portals in the Appalachians, in the Rockies, um, in mountain ranges all over the United States that will take you from point A, point B, point C.
yep,
And that if somebody wants you gone bad enough, you will go through these systems and never be found again.
yep. And
I've never delved
supposedly
too deep into it, but
there's some weird shit going on in our world, and but there's 11 scientists that are missing. Somebody is going out of their way to keep these people from it, and I do not understand what the big deal is with aliens. If the president come out today and said we have aliens, I wouldn't be shocked.
well, they did that. They did that what right
They
before COVID
basically
ended.
have done. Yeah,
There was
Yeah,
a lady in Congress that came out and was like, everything you're hearing that they're telling you is not true is true, and here's the proof. I never read into it, but
they admitted it, but they haven't released any evidence, which makes me feel fishy about it. That well, why do they want us focusing on that? You know, like I'll gladly believe like. In my personal opinion, I think we're a flyby planet where they like to come and watch us throw bombs every now and
oh,
then.
but you guys
But
won't believe in Bigfoot, huh?
I
I
don't say
thought
I
he
don't believe.
did.
I'm not saying I don't believe in Bigfoot. I just there's something going. I've got too many people that I'm friends with that have had some kind of encounters with something,
He's going
and
through the cave systems.
well, it could be. You know, I had a guy that worked for me that was an Indian and not a dot, but a slot.
A
Anyways,
casino, not a
Not a
hotel.
thought, but
yeah,
a slot is
yeah.
crazy.
But he told me that his tribe believed there was a Bigfoot, but Bigfoot would not let anybody capture him on film. He was some kind of spirit.
Hmm.
So if someone's there, but there's been a whole lot of people seen some shit with him, and there are some real fucking nut jobs that believe in him, though, that they sure don't make it easy for anybody that's not a
They're
believer.
Yeah.
they're they're doing they're doing expeditions. So you remember the guys on Animal Planet, the BFRO, and all that.
Yes.
They are going around the country. There's one in New Jersey, PA, Texas, Seattle. You can pay 250. I think it's $250 to join them on an expedition.
Why don't we do that?
We can.
That'd be funny. That'd be a great
The
content.
spots are open.
It's the best business in the world to be in the hunt business because he's the world champion of hide and seek.
Hmm.
You ain't gonna kill one, so if people pay money to go shoot them one and they don't kill nothing, it's not like they're really expecting to kill one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's that one
It's like,
guy's name? Bobo or something? That
but
was
yes,
Bobo.
the big doofus.
yeah.
South Park. I don't know if you watch South Park or not. I love it. They fucking ripped on him, and it was one of the best episodes ever.
I thought Al Gore was the man bear pig thing.
Yeah, Al Gore was the man bear pig. They did an episode about the Bigfoot people. It was it was something about the Jewish eater or whatever it was. But there was this monster that came out and ate Jewish kids.
Yeah. Isn't the guy's name Bobo? Is that his name?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, old Bobo. We've had three different Bigfoot people on our podcast, and man, the first one was complete cousin fucker. You could tell,
Yeah, I listened to that. That was.
and I got him to do the howl that he did, and he did it in the microphone. I laughed so fucking hard. And then I asked him, I said, now, Harry and the Hendersons, that's based on a true story, right? Oh, no, sir. I think they just made that up. I thought he was going to bite on that, but
So, I got a question. Does Andy still believe the world is flat?
I don't think Andy ever believed the world was flat. There's a lot of arguments on that side, and he just listens. Andy has to play the liberal on our podcast some, not play, because he tells me
Do you
all the time,
force
and he
him
goes,
to?
no, never.
It's a good balance.
Yeah, he says, if we both agree on the same shit all the time, what good is that to have? You got to have something to discuss.
That's fair.
And so, but the flat Earth part is there's some really cool evidence, not cool evidence. There's some interesting evidence those people have on their side, and I don't buy that. I think the world is round.
I do too. I think one of the cool things that and like you said, maybe it's not cool, but to describe it as cool, is the flight log. It is watching the flight patterns. I think that's one of the more interesting arguments they have, because there is more merit to that than the rest of the arguments they have, I think.
I'll tell you
Explain satellites.
Yeah, well,
no,
they say it doesn't go all the way up.
We're not talking about that we believe it. Just saying you got to.
I know, but I got a hard time. We got a dude like that I know. I have a hard time getting in with. I love conspiracy theories. I love aliens. I love the whole.
The moon landing is not real.
The whole moon thing, like all that's great. You lose me at the frisbee.
Do you think that? See, I had this argument with someone the other day. I think it was my wife about the moon the other day, the Artemis or whatever. And a lot of people don't think that thing even went anywhere.
Well, now, what do you mean the Artemis? The one that just landed.
The moon.
I got you.
And I don't think we went to the moon a long time ago.
No,
I really don't. But I think that was space all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the moon landing was the best false evidence of all time.
It was a rah America moment.
It was
staged rah America.
Didn't we do that to end the Cold War?
No, it was a supremacy thing. It didn't end the Cold War.
Okay,
we were
but it was a
trying to be
thing.
We were trying to beat Russia or China to it or whatever, Russia at the time. But here's the thing. The other day, Artemis went within 4,000 miles of the moon. And I believe that they were there. I really do believe that. But they go on one trajectory and they got one pass across the moon. And they go to the pass where they could see the moon buggy down there with their camera. So of the whole moon, I don't even know how big the moon is compared to the Earth, but they could see this four-wheeler sitting there 4,000 miles away.
So I got two things about that. I'll start with the thing that makes a little more sense to me because I'm not a scientist. The first thing is we have cameras that are incredible. They can see from our atmosphere, they can see perfectly and in perfect resolution Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, even Pluto, right? People buy very expensive telescopes, very, very expensive telescopes, and nobody can see the flag and the buggy from Earth.
It's because you're looking at the wrong side of the moon.
It's not on the dark side of the moon. That's the first thing.
But this here was the picture of the flag and the buggy from the Artemis just 4,000 miles away. It wasn't from down here. It was when it was circling the moon at 4,000. I don't buy that shit. First of all, I don't think there's a flag and a moon on there. Or a flag and a buggy on the moon.
Mm-mm.
But what do you think about the Mars buggy? The Mars rover.
That wasn't manned.
The rover. I think unmanned. I think we've been there, and
I could say.
I think we've probably have unmanned stuff that's been on the moon. But the moon in 1962 or 63 or 65, whatever year it was. If you watch, there's an old James Bond movie, and I can't remember which one it is, but James Bond ends up in Las Vegas, and they bust through some doors, and they're filming the moon landing. They got the little buggy running there and shit and the whole thing. And they were making fun of how stupid people are that believe that we landed the moon, I believe.
So we didn't even have the sham wow in 1965, let alone a moon landing.
This brings me to my second point, the science point that I can't really. I don't want to miss this part because this is a big one. Apparently, there's a belt around the planet called the Van Allen radiation belt. That if any, like when they sent the monkeys through it, the dogs through it, all the things. Yeah, he thought that was funny. I didn't mean it like that.
No,
When they sent
I can't.
those things through it, they always immediately died. The only way to get through that belt is to go from the poles. We don't launch from the poles. Our trajectory never goes from the poles. I don't think anything living has been past that part of the greater atmosphere, not our atmosphere, but that belt that surrounds the planet. That's the part that blocks the sun's a lot of the sun's radiation too. That's where it gets all caught up. It's all there. But I'm not a scientist, and I've never been more than an airplane's height in distance, so I can't tell you if that's true or not.
Um, that's interesting thing what you said. First of all, you're a whole lot smarter than I am to even know about shooting them off the poles and stuff. I got to give you props for that. The smartest person in my family is my youngest son, and he was part of Space Force, and he believes that we went there.
So he
And
was in Space Force.
yes, and he swears
Okay.
by it. And he's a whole lot smarter than I am, and he's sharp as hell, and he doesn't buy into any conspiracy. He's like, no, that's bullshit, blah blah blah. He's a kind of one of those guys. He believes we've been to the moon. Now he hasn't been to the moon, but he believes that we've been to the moon, and he
Did
has no
he?
reason to lie to me or nothing. He just got out of the military.
Did he? Did he elect to go into Space Force, or was that something he was transferred to?
I don't know. He was a cyber analyst
Okay.
and got chosen to do it.
I was gonna say because most of Space Force was more on the tech side, right? Instead
Yeah,
of like,
and that's
yeah.
what he did. But he also got invited to join Delta, and he didn't.
Damn.
That would have been pretty.
He's a smart kid.
That's crazy.
I don't know. The only thing I know is that we didn't go to the moon in 64, 65,
I believe
whatever it
that.
was.
I believe that
I don't.
also. I have a hard time thinking. First of all, what's crazy about it is my phone was fucking up a minute ago here, but 60 years ago we could get a phone call from the president to talk to the guys on the
Hmm.
moon.
With no lag.
Yeah.
It just yeah. So I don't buy into all of it. Um, I think NASA's done a lot of great things,
I agree.
but I don't know that we've been there. I think Elon Musk wants to put somebody on Mars,
Yeah, he
and
was talking about that. What, right when Trump got in the
I mean,
second
he's
time?
still working towards that.
he's a smart man. I wouldn't put
He's a
nothing
very
past him.
smart man.
I mean, I'm watching rockets come back and land at South Padre Island after they shoot them off in Florida and just come right back down, and nobody else has done that before.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about Elon is the amount of hate he gets, and the only reason he gets this hate is because he sided with Trump.
Oh,
And he's the
yeah.
richest man in the
The
world.
funniest thing is right after Trump got elected and Elon made him. What did Trump appoint Elon as?
Doji.
Department of Government
Okay.
Expenditure.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. He oversaw. Okay, I got you. Right as soon as that happened, I noticed all the Teslas. So there's Teslas everywhere. I don't know if you see them a lot where you are, but there. I mean, I must see 100 a day.
We have
Every
some, but we don't see them like I'll go to the West Coast, and every fucking third car is a Tesla.
Yeah,
That's
so
how it
it's
is
the
here.
same
It's
thing
the
over
same
here in the
thing
Philly
here.
area now.
Mhm.
I would have to say 60 to 65% of them now have a sticker that says
Before Elon went crazy and shit like that.
something
Yeah.
along those lines.
Well, you know who's driving them, so I mean.
No, I
does it
mean,
surprise
yes,
you?
we know, but it was like
don't drive
Tesla
them.
was a good idea before Elon wasn't, something like
Yeah.
that. And I just laugh every time I see it.
He's laughing all the way to the bank to it. Them goofy
They
bastards.
still bought it. What are they going
all
to
the
do?
way.
Not pay their payments? Sell the car.
Yeah.
Somebody else will fucking buy it.
Yep. I'm not
Now-
for the electric cars. I believe the first vehicles on the road were electric, and you see how that went. But it's just funny.
They have a place, and a
They
place
do.
is for a tofu eating twat waffle liberal lady to drive to work, and you can't drive very far. I mean, if you're driving 75 miles a week, they're perfect. They do not have a place out here where we live where we drive 100 miles just to
I
go to
was gonna,
Walmart.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we don't. They're not a West Texas type deal or
I
a Midwest.
I always thought about that because if you run out of gas on the side of the road, you can call a cop and you can call the police station or the fire department, whoever it is, and they're
Somebody
going to
will
bring you
it.
2 gallon of gas to get to where you got to go. I don't think a cop's going to bring you a fucking generator to get your Tesla going again.
No, you're fucked.
Yeah.
and like like where I am, even where I am for New Jersey, I would say Ryan's a little more remote than I am. My closest neighbor's half a mile away, but I can still go 20 minutes and get anywhere I need to be. I can go out to dinner. I can go to shopping. I can go to a grocery store, whatever it is. So I can understand the electric vehicle side here, I guess. But like you said, where you are, you got to drive 100 miles, like you said, to get to Walmart. That's
Yeah,
You're
it
charging
doesn't.
every day.
Yeah, it doesn't work well for us. Now, our average stuff is, I drive the lodge 9 miles and back this time of year. But when I'm scouting during waterfowl season, I'm burning through half a tank of gas every day. I'm
Mm,
driving 200-300 miles a day. Well, I don't have time in the middle of the day to stop and plug my truck in if I decide to go to Wichita, or Lubbock, or Abilene, or whatever.
yeah.
And I ain't doing that shit. I see people. We got a place between the airport and here, and we stop there all the time. We call it Bucky's West. Just a small town, it's a little grocery, or it's a convenience store, but it's a nice one, and it's about a tenth the size of a Bucky's. Anyways, they've got Tesla. They got about 10 or 12 of them things there. And I see people parked in there and they're sitting there waiting an hour or two. Who the hell's got
Mm-hmm.
2 hours to sit and
Yeah,
wait to
no.
charge your car up?
Yep. Yep. Hard pass on that.
Plus,
Yeah.
if you were looking to get something electric to get just to the lodge and back, you could find like one of those mini trucks or something more fun than a Tesla to drive around.
Like, I ain't doing that shit at all. I ain't driving something that
No.
starts with the engine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
And then in
Now
the
you're
wintertime when it's cold, that ain't worth the shit either.
Oh, I learned that the hard way this year. My truck didn't start 3 times from the oil or from the fuel gelling up. That's such a pain in the balls.
now you're in West Texas, right? Knox City's in
Yes.
West Texas. Are you guys in the
Yes.
Panhandle or?
No, not quite the Panhandle. We're 70 miles from the Panhandle, which you would call the Panhandle probably.
Are you around a lot of the oil field stuff like that?
I live in a town that's full of oil field stuff. It was an oil field town.
They
All of
smoking the
West
fucking belts
Texas.
off their machines?
Do what?
They smoking the belts off their machines by now?
You know what? It's kind of crazy right now. There's not a lot of drilling going on right now like normal. Like if we
Really?
had,
Really?
but oil's back down to $80 a barrel now. They're,
Me and Ryan have had some arguments about that the last week because I don't know if you've seen the plotted map west of the Panama Canal.
yes, I have.
There's I think it's 400, as of Wednesday, there was 462 ships waiting to get through. So,
Oh,
somewhere around that number.
I thought you were talking about something else. I thought you were talking about the Mexicans are wanting to build a canal now.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, north of the Panama Canal, they're wanting to build a canal, or they want to build a super highway to go from the Caribbean over to the Pacific. It's 100 miles there, and they want to build some super 12-lane highway that'll be just trucks carrying cargo back and forth.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That'd
Yep.
be the easiest trucking job ever. You go straight. You go straight, and then you drop it off, and then you go straight back again.
Yeah, but the problem is you got to go through the middle of drug cartel country.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
think the
Mexico's
mob
a
in New
scary
Jersey?
place.
Yeah, and I've been twice in the last 4 weeks, and I love Mexico, but
That's what a lot
you
of
got,
people say.
you got to stay in the right place.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because I've always heard, like, I watch Ramsey Russell. He goes down to Argentina, to Mexico to hunt a lot. And I've also heard from a lot of people that if you go to Mexico, you'll go back year after year if you're a big duck hunter.
We go to
But
Mexico year after year, but we don't go duck hunting. I love Mexico.
Mhm.
okay,
I mean, the food is great, the people are great.
I love Mexican
It's
food.
not as expensive. I mean, I love Mexico. We just got back last week on a vacation. We took our grandkids to the nicest place I've ever been in my life, and we travel a lot. We
Mhm.
stayed at a place called Xcaret or however you want to say it. The nicest resort I've ever been to in my life.
I I was going to ask, do you go to a resort or do you go to like a Airbnb style? But you said
Nope.
resort. Now, do you stay in the resort area?
Yep. We stay.
Okay.
Now we go to two different places. We have two places that we go a lot. We go to Isla Mujeres, which is an island off of the coast of Cancun, and it's like going back to Mexico in probably the mid 70s. It's it's
Really?
it's. I've never felt unsafe there. We've been there a bunch of times. We go walk the streets at night. We get a golf cart. You drive all over, and it's really a nice place. And then we went to this place here, which is south of Cancun. I don't like Cancun. This resort, I never felt unsafe. It's isolated. It's a big, big resort, but it was great. I would not do an Airbnb in Mexico.
Well, yeah, and I figured that because I've heard. So I think it was 2019. I was supposed to, and I couldn't tell you where, I couldn't tell you when. I was supposed to go to Mexico for a Coetzel concert, and it was like a 4-day stay, 5 nights. It was like $2,500, which wasn't bad. And we read into it, and it was like the first thing I learned was if you go there, you go to one of them resorts. The resort property is big enough to where you can have fun all 5 days, do something different. Do not go outside of the resort though. That's
Yeah,
like the one thing they tell you.
we've been me, we've been going to all inclusive resorts for 30 years down there. I went before me and Michelle got married, so I'm 58. I've been going for 40 years, and I've never had any kind of issue outside of the resort or in the resort. But most of those resorts are all isolated, and I
Hmm.
felt safe there.
Yeah, I've heard on the hunting aspect side, like there was one, and I'm not going to say it was staged, but I don't know if it was, knowing the media nowadays. Meat Eater, they went through to Mexico. They had some problems. But I have heard there's so many stories that if you go hunting down there, you really have to be careful where you go, how you get there, and what you do because the cartels come through those farming, those agricultural areas where they hunt.
Yeah, that's very true. And I've had people with me that I know a guy that went down there and they got robbed at gunpoint, and a guy with them got beat with a pistol. It
Oh,
happens.
Yeah,
I
holy.
know
that's not worth the
guys.
dog.
I know guys have been down there forever and have never had a problem. The
Yeah.
problem in Mexico is you're not calling 911,
No.
and
Mm.
if you do get a hold of them, the chance that that cop
They're
coming
just
out to
gonna
talk
come
to
beat
you,
you too.
yeah, is probably being paid by the cartel also.
Yeah.
So
I,
that's my deal. But you know what's sad is when you get outside of the border towns and you get into Mexico, those people are the nicest people, and they don't want the fucking cartels there either.
Hmm.
yeah. I've listened to every time you guys have Charles Beatty on, I think he is one of the most interesting men in the world. His storytelling is supreme.
Yes.
Whether he's telling the truth or not, he can make you believe anything he wants. I think as far as that goes, he's great. And you asked him, I believe the last time you had him on, you asked him about Mexico City, and he said he loved it. I believe, right?
Yes.
And that's the first time I've heard that. So people say if you went to Mexico City in the 50s, 60s, it was one of the best places in the world. Nowadays, it is so full of trash, scum, thievery, cartels. You don't want to, if you're not Mexican, you don't go anywhere near Mexico City.
It's crazy you said that. We stayed the night we landed in Cancun. We stayed right there at the Hilton by the airport, and they had a pool area. And when I was talking, I'm a visitor, so I talked to people all over. So I started talking to a couple there. They lived in Mexico City, and they talked about how dangerous it was
Mm.
Yeah, because
because
I mean, Ryan,
the kidnapping is going rampant there.
what, for trafficking, stuff like that?
Oh,
Hmm.
you get an American in there and I'll kidnap you, and you call their mom or dad,
Yeah.
and I want $10,000 cash and put it so and so, or you're not going to see him again. Happens all the
Hmm.
time, and it's not 10,000, it's 100,000.
Yeah.
They
Hmm.
target people. I'll tell you a story about America and the cartels. My middle son worked in the oil field out at Midland for a long time, and he was in charge of a company that did water hauling. And they guy calls him at 1 o'clock in the morning, when know where their water was. It's like, well, I don't. Let me find out. They should have been there at 7 or 8 o'clock. And so they called. They finally got a hold of this guy, and he said, I don't know where. He said, not answering his cell phone. About that time, he said, "Hold on, he's here right now." And this guy gets out of this truck, comes in. He told his boss, he said, "I fucking quit. I'm going home," and starts packing his shit. He's driving in the middle of nowhere out around Pecos, Texas, goes down a road, and these two black Suburbans pull up and block the road. And these guys get out and they're in full garb,
Mm.
automatic weapons, uh, jackets on. I mean, they look like they're going to battle as Navy SEALs.
This is in Texas, right?
This is in
Yeah.
Texas, about 50 miles from the border. And they go, "Where do you go?" And he goes, "I'm going to them lights over there to bring some water." "No, this is our road. You're not going down it." He goes, "Okay." They took his, and they said, "You turn around and leave. And if we ever see you come back here again, we're going to kill you." They took his wallet from him, and they took a picture of his driver's license. So now we
Mm.
know where you are. We'll find out
Yeah.
about your family. We'll kill everybody, blah, blah, blah. Well, the time they're talking to him, all of a sudden he hears a noise behind him, and these guys are sweating profusely and walking, and they've got shovels. So were they burying and hiding money, or were they burying and hiding bodies?
Were they burying a grave for him?
Who knows? But
Or were they
anyways,
digging? Yeah.
they let this guy go. He went back and he quit, and he went back to East Texas and never went back again.
Yeah,
Shit
I don't blame
happens
him.
down there. The cartels, though, you don't have to be just in Mexico. That if you don't think the Mexican drug cartels infiltrated all along that border, you're nuts. It's
Well, it's
bad.
not
It's
just the border. They're up
it's
in Bridgeton and
so
Millville and all that
No,
we
shit
have a
too.
town. We have a town named Bridgeton, New Jersey. My mom worked there for years. It's 15 minutes from me. There's Bridgeton, and then there's historic Bridgeton. It's all the only difference is a railroad track. You go under the railroad track. Now you're in historic Bridgeton. You go from a Walmart, a ShopRite, which is a grocery store for us, a Walgreens, a pretty decent little town. You go under that sign, under that railroad track, and it is Mexico.
Hmm.
It is Mexico.
All the signs are in Spanish. All the stores are in Spanish. Everybody there is Spanish. They pushed the ghetto out. It used to be the ghetto,
Yep.
and they pushed all the ghetto out, and now it's all. You see the tatted up ones when you go through there. Like, it's a scary. Like, they're here too,
Just
running whatever they're running.
when ICE started, they came through Bridgeton, and I think they were only going after anybody who's been involved with children. So, beating children, sexual assault, stuff like that. I think there was 36 arrests in the first 6 hours. It has gotten so bad. You don't drive through there at night.
Mm-mm.
Now, there's a couple little places where you can go that are like little safe havens. There's a couple bakeries. There's a gas station you can go that I frequent. But it has gotten so bad, and you can tell. Like, it's not hard to see. You go through, and for 6 miles, there's not a parking spot on the side of the road. It's Tennessee, South Carolina, Texas, Michigan. Wherever they come in and they buy their first car, and they can take the plates with them, is the plate that's on the car. Like, there's not a New Jersey tag in sight.
Hmm.
It's the food. I bet the food's good there.
Food's
Food's
awesome.
really good.
There's a place in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
There's this place. There's this place. It's in the middle
La,
of a
La
field.
Taquidera.
It is in the middle of a field. It is way outside the city. There's nothing but like tomatoes, soybeans, corn,
Yeah.
and then there's this
This
random
place.
little restaurant on the side of the road.
So good.
Menus in Spanish. They look at you dirty when you go in there. The food's awesome.
There's
Food's
fighting
10 out of
chickens on the
10.
wall.
So you know what happens is in Texas, we have one of those in every town just about.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
have we have good places to eat like that all the time. But the food is amazing. Like I used to tell people all the time, here there's burrito places in the morning for breakfast. You get breakfast
Mhm.
burritos. Very common. Every town in West Texas has got one. It's usually a couple of old ladies in town, and they make home food. I mean, it's got potatoes, eggs, cheese, chorizo, whatever you want, but it's homemade tortilla. And I'll tell people up north, I said, "Where y'all's burrito shop at, huh? Y'all don't have a place that just sells breakfast burritos? We're
Mhm.
spoiled by that food."
Now,
Mhm.
what we do have is most of the spots now have adopted the empanadas. So you can stop and get breakfast empanadas, but we don't have a burrito spot like
There's
that.
none on the way. No, I
Ours
don't
are
know
all
any of them
burrito
that are open.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish, man. If there was a breakfast burrito spot, I would wear my wallet out in there.
I'd be pushing
We
300 right
have
now.
we have two sisters that work in our local little Bucky's convenience store here in town, Penman's, that they cook and they do lunch specials too. But you go in there in the morning, and all these data center workers and stuff are getting in there, and they're ordering burritos. And I mean, I'm telling you, they got Mexican potatoes, chorizo, bacon, sausage, egg, cheese, Spam. They got all kinds of Mexican burritos, and it's all on a homemade tortilla. And people line up and buy them every day.
You brought up something I wanted to
Yeah.
talk
Hold on, real
about.
quick before you bring that up. Do you like Spam?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, now you can go ahead.
Yeah,
I like Spam.
y'all are both wrong on that one. But
For liking Spam, what's not wrong?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I said. Fry it, put it on
I
a
don't know.
sandwich.
I feel like it'll growl at me if I take it out of the can.
You know
But,
they cook it in a can.
Really?
I did. What do they boil it?
In the can?
In the can, every
Yeah,
can. I
that's
just did
crazy.
We do a thing called Did You Know, and I did it on Spam.
I
on our
love
podcast.
your Did You Know episodes.
And I did one on Spam sometime recently. But anyways, yeah, they boil that. But I like Spam. I eat Spam. I had a Spam sandwich at the lodge. Michelle buys it by the case for me, and in the off season, I make it at the lodge. I make it with scrambled eggs, or I make me a Spam sandwich. I love it.
You have to hide it and feed it to me.
You can go on your deal. What about Vienna sausages?
Hell yeah, monkey weenies are good
Oh
too.
man, I can't, man. I use them as raccoon bait, and I've eaten one time. The barbecue, I don't know. It wasn't the worst thing I had. I'll say that.
Vienna sauce. I don't mind Vienna sausages. I'm not a big potted meat guy.
No,
What is potted meat?
It's meat. Yeah, you buy it in a can. It's
What about pickled sausage?
What do you call pickled sauce? You mean like the Tijuana Mamas?
yeah, like the Texas Red
Kinda,
Hots.
but there's
Oh,
ones
fuck.
that come in like a big jar that are just
Oh.
like floating jerky sticks inside
my
of like a
wife,
jar.
Michelle absolutely loves them.
Yeah,
I mean, loves them with the kind of vinegary tasting.
yeah.
Yeah, love them.
I can't. I like pickled eggs, but I
Don't
can't
open
do
up your
that.
nose. But
Go ahead.
I love sardines.
My mom loves sardines, and I don't know. I don't know.
before I lose my train of thought, I wanted to ask you. You said you got a lot of data center workers. You have a lot of them going all up, and like, what are your thoughts on them?
Okay, there's a new meme floating around our area, and it says three things you don't talk about is politics, religion, and data centers. Because it is that controversial out here right now. But I'm going to
Really?
give you my opinion on them.
Mm.
I think 10 years down the road, they're going to be great for our communities because it's going to be really good jobs that we wouldn't have had, high tech jobs in an area like mine that's losing people. I think it's really good. There's a lot of evil to them too, just because it's the new gold rush.
Yes.
I'm living in a town that a single mom or a family that guy's making a moderate living, let's say making $20 an hour, husband and wife both, and trying to pay rent somewhere, and it was $1,000 a month was their rent. Now it's 3 to 5,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 50,000 people going to be working within 50 miles of my town right now, building data centers. They're building solar fields, they're building wind, nuclear, and they're building data centers around here.
So right now it's hard because whoever's running the markets, the housing market, the grocery market, whatever it is, they're seeing this influx of people. So they're like, okay, everybody needs the basics. They need their electric payment. They need their water payment. Whatever it is, they can skyrocket that payment. But what you're thinking is 10, 15 years, it's all going to even back out.
Oh yeah, I think once these things are built and all the workers leave, I think you're going to have a big part of your. I mean, a big. If someone built a GM plant here and there was a
Yeah.
hundred full-time jobs, those are going to be good jobs. I mean, and I'd be a hypocrite to say I'm against it because I just had a lady from Google email me about keeping some people at my lodge. Well, if I could rent my lodge out for 3 or 4 months in the off season and make
Yeah.
a whole lot of money, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
all aboard it. I've got friends of mine that have sold their land to the data centers. I got neighbors that are pissed off because they're ruining the countryside. But how can you tell some guy that owns land you can't get $15,000 an acre for something that's worth a thousand
Yeah.
an acre?
So
Mm-hmm.
Amazon came through years ago. They're still doing it. They were going to farmers. They weren't going to people that had houses, 5 acres. They were going to farmers with substantial acres. Now, substantial in New Jersey is way different than substantial in Texas. You know, if I say a
Right.
15-acre or a 150-acre farmer, it'd be the same thing as a 1,500-acre farmer out there. It's kind of
Right.
the scale. So they were going to guys with 150, 200, 250 acres. They were offering them 4 times the land value, not the market value, the land value. who is and you can talk all the shit you want. You can be like, Ryan's rah. Well, if I was in that position, I want it. Yes, you would. If somebody came to you and said, "I'll give you $4 million right now for your land," in this day and age, 80% of the people are going to sell it.
To get out of this area, if I had that and to go somewhere isolated, you're right, and I was wrong about saying that. I'd probably sell and get the fuck out.
Okay, I live in an isolated area. There's a town about 50 miles from us that got sold a ranch for $80 million.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about something that would have brung 80 million 10 years ago. We're talking about
Mm-hmm.
something that would have brung about $5 million.
Yeah.
Why
Mm-hmm.
would he not sell?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I
like I
mean,
said, I can hate it till I'm blue in the face, and I do, but I understand it. There's a
Mm-hmm.
difference. You can not like something and not understand it, or you can not like it and understand it. I understand exactly where the farmer's coming from. That farmer would have never made $4 million in 4 lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
how about this? You've got 160 acres. You farm it. Off that 160 acres, your income's 25, 30,000 a year. You can't
Mm-hmm.
even live off of it. You got to do
Nope.
other things, but you got 160 acres. The solar people come to you and they say, "We'll tell you what, we'll give you $500,000 a year for 20 years. We'll give you $500,000 every year for 20 years." What are you
You
going to do?
have to. Yeah, you have to
Yep.
take it.
Yep. And they did. So I know one guy, and I used to buy bulls from him when I was in the bucking bull deal. He's one of the very few people I know that have held out.
But he makes a killing.
We're not thinking of the same person.
Grant?
No,
Oh.
I never bought bulls from him.
Really?
Yeah, he actually protected, or he put in like the Green Acres program and protected all of his farming land.
Sorry, I thought that's who you were talking about.
Now, this is a guy in Shippensburg, PA, and the solar panel company came to him and said, "I'll give you XXX for 5 years." He turned it down, but he's very, very used to living the way he lives. He would never thrive in a moderate income household. He's got old money that he's living off of and everything like that. But like I said, he's one of the few I know that have turned something like that down.
So, here's the thing that gets me all assed up about the data centers. It's twofold. It sounds like they're building out power infrastructure for them, which is the right way to do it. But here they're not. And the deal, especially with the one in Vineland, is the data center gets the power before the residents and the people do.
Yeah.
So when this thing's sucking up all the power, if there's brownouts, they prioritize a data center over people's homes. That pisses me the fuck off. And the other thing that pisses me the fuck off is everybody's taxes went up this year, but the data center in Vineland gets a tax break for 10 years and doesn't pay anything while sucking up all the electric and the water and everything else. This isn't
Well,
even
you're wrong about the water.
the well. They tap the wells to cool them.
It's a closed circuit.
Okay, closed loop system, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, but here's my argument on that. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate of this. I'm gonna be on the
I
data
love it. Go
side.
for it.
So you're upset that they're gonna sell their electric power to them before they do you.
Not their electric power. It's everybody's electric. They're not building.
Right.
They're
But
not.
down here.
Yeah.
Down here, they're building their own power sources.
Which
Yeah,
is the
we're
right
not.
way, which I would
Right.
agree to.
Right.
I
Right.
would agree to that.
I got to remember what you said, because you said something I had a good point on. I can't remember what you said. You said that you didn't like them doing the electric, and there was something else that you didn't like about it. What else was it? I couldn't
The
remember.
10-year
Oh,
zero
that's what it
taxes
was.
when all of
That-
our taxes
okay.
went up this year.
That's what it was. Okay. If General Motors would have built a brand new a factory in that same spot, they're going to get the same 10-year deal. Do you complain about that?
I think General Motors would give more jobs than the data centers would.
But okay, let's just say it's an equal deal, though. How many people do you think work at a General Motors plant?
200.
I feel like it'd
150?
be more than that. I actually don't know how many people it takes to put a
I
car
don't-
together.
I'm asking like legitimately, not trying to be.
I don't know. No, I don't know
I don't
either.
know. But
I would guess
Yeah.
200. I mean, if they're working dual shifts, maybe 400 people.
one of the data centers down here supposedly is going to provide 1,500 full-time jobs. I don't know
The
how
thing-
true that is. The one they're building in Abilene, Texas, is 3 million square feet.
Whoo! Yeah, ours aren't that big.
No, ours aren't
It's
that
fucking
big.
huge. They're
Yeah.
building one in Amarillo that's 6 million square feet. 5,800 acres of concrete.
Holy
How do you build a building that big?
I
That would
have
take.
no idea.
5,800 acres.
Yeah,
Yep,
you need
it'll
a like.
be the second or third largest building in the world. But anyways, they're going to provide full time jobs. But my in Texas, everybody's against data centers unless you're getting paid. Just the way it
Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
But if they were building a new oil field out there, nobody would complain because in our mind, it's oil. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, how many
But
people
that
are bitching because these Amazon fulfillment centers that they build? They love them. It's a good company. It's going to be full time jobs, and they get all this stuff there. Now, here's one
Yeah,
of the
Ryan worked for
positives.
Amazon.
Here's one of the positives about the data centers. If they build a data center, they're going to tax them people for the equipment on inside.
Mhm.
Some of these data centers have got $300-400 million worth of equipment inside.
Mm-hmm.
The counties are going to make $4 to $5 million a year. That's more budget than some of these little counties out here have. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
positive.
Yeah.
Let me play devil's advocate to your devil's advocate.
Okay.
Oh, the devil's going on around here. I'm staying with Christ.
Hold on a second.
You getting your tin cap on?
So, fuck, god damn it. Give me a second on how to word this.
Word it however you want.
Just spit it out.
Yeah, come on, don't be scared.
So, let me ask you this: when you're comparing them to an oil field or a GM, they're making things that ultimately benefit the world. Do you think these data centers are going to benefit the world? Do you think the content and the things that are coming out of these things are going to overall be a good thing for us, or is
How are
it
you
going to be
talking to
the
me?
what?
How are you talking to me? Are we on a cell phone?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm with Jeff on this one. So
They don't know. That's not what I'm talking about. The AI doesn't have anything to do with making cell phones or anything like that.
Who's gonna store all this energy? That's what these data centers are for.
yeah, it's not for
I mean,
storing. So
I
what
mean,
maybe with the
It's for
ones
AI. The data centers are for AI.
maybe one
yeah,
out
but
of
they're
50.
storing data.
Yeah, it's the same. It's like a cell bank. It's the same thing. It's not.
It's the brain for the AI. It's making the AI have more to pull from and more to store. And it's writing its own code, and it needs more room to write its own code
I'm not
at that
for all,
scale.
every. First of all, I'm with you on some of the stuff you're saying. I'm not. I'm not
I
against
know,
anything
no,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
saying.
not. I'm not
But
arguing. I'm just going back and forth with you
but
about it.
but everything that we do has to store data nowadays. I had this
yeah,
same. This has been a big topic here for the last 6 months. So I've had all
Hmm.
these. We've done like 3 different podcasts on this. I had a guy on this week that was really good, Tommy McGee. I had a guy from up east. And I can't think of his name. We did one about a month ago, and it was really good too. But but when everything you do stores data, and it has been that way. Everything is going more that way. My accountant now, I used to turn all my stuff to my accountant. They would do our books and send them back. Now AI does all that shit. And
yeah,
it's that way everywhere. And they got to have more
yeah.
storage. Now, I think data centers have some, personally, and I'm going to look like a dumbass on this. I think it's got something to do to a direct energy weapon. I really do. I believe that there's something more. I think there's some nefarious stuff with it other than just storing Granny's checking account and how much money's in them.
Nefarious, I'll agree with. I think everything
I
that
think
has to do with AI has a nefarious effect to it. Um, because overall, you're building a weapon that can be used against every single person.
you're building a brain
Yes.
that's smarter than everyone combined.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Um, that's what I'll say. As I do think that, along with everything that's done nowadays, I do believe that 90% of what is going on in the world, pick a topic, and that's what I'm talking about. Everything has a nefarious effect to it to an extent.
Yes.
I think that there is greater evil than greater good in the world today, and it's
Yeah,
scary.
I agree with you. But you asked earlier was what earlier someone said something about have you seen all the ships that are clogged up in the Panama Canal because of
Hmm.
all this the deal. How do they track those ships? Data.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
So
everything we do is got data. In 1975, you wasn't doing that shit.
no,
But it
You were on
kept
the
up
radio.
fine for the most part until they had to start building more storage for AI. Like keeping track of the ships and stuff like that. You don't need a what did you say, 6 million square foot building?
Yeah.
You didn't need that for. I don't feel like you needed that for any normal computer program up until they started building AI. Now you need all this space. That's why I'm saying the output is the output worth what we're doing with this.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I had that same question. I'm like, we've had Facebook and shit for the
Yeah.
last 20 years. And now all of a sudden in 2026, we've got to have, they're building 400 data centers in Texas right now. Where I
Yeah.
live at right now, if you went from where I lived at and you drew a 40-mile circle around Knox City, you couldn't come up with 50,000 people.
Yeah.
We're going to have 50,000 workers just in this area. And within 50 miles of here, there's probably going to be 10 data centers and a nuclear power plant and all this solar and all this other shit that we didn't have 5 years ago.
What's really scary about it from your point of view is the fact that Texas is, like we talked about earlier, 95 to 97% public or private property.
Yes.
So if you're looking at it from an outdoorsman aspect, you could, I mean, realistically, offered the right money, you could sell the entire state of Texas to whoever, right?
Yeah, if you own your land, you can do what you want with your land.
Yeah,
yes, but they're not taking
exactly.
up. But they're not taking up that much space. I mean, we're talking about 5,000 square feet.
Yeah,
I mean or 6 million square feet.
That's a water drop in the state of Texas.
It's not very far. You know, I chase tornadoes all the time, and when you think about it, and a tornado goes across land, the biggest tornado ever was 2 miles wide. That's not very big in Texas.
No. But what I wanted to say with that is in the state of New Jersey, we have a lot of public land, and as crooked as the blue is, and as big as the blue is in Jersey, there's a lot of public land advocates. And I think the saving grace when we're talking about data centers, we're talking about warehouses, we're talking about everything that's being built, the reindustrialization of the new age, of the technology, of the however you say the fucking word, that age, we as outdoorsmen still have a to use the liberal term, a safe space to go. We're not going to ever sell our public lands. We're not going to lose our hunting opportunities. We're not going to lose any of that, just to make this conversation full circle. That's all.
That was a good comeback. I was going to say something, but I was letting you roll with it for a second.
But
go ahead.
No, sorry. My cousin texted me about getting pigs. I
live in a state that's all private, and so you can do what your land what you want. We have this kid comes on our podcast about once every 3 months. That's a raging liberal that's running for Senate. I've known him my whole life, or his whole life, and he just doesn't get it. He's like, well, it's not fair to everyone else. The Democrats want to tell you what to do with your land.
Yeah.
And some things he's right about, but you can't tell someone what to do with their land. And it's going to affect all of us out here. I mean, we've got a lot more people than we normally have. Our infrastructure is not set up for this. But then again, people are making money that want to make money off this deal, and it's a good opportunity. The same as it was in California in the gold rush, the oil boom in Texas in the early teens, North Dakota in the 1990s with their oil boom, and everything else that's ever happened. Look at the real estate booms we've went through. You got to take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I get a point to making money. It's just, it is a little scary to watch where the world's going.
Yes, it is.
Especially for somebody like us that like to enjoy the natural world. Because, like you said, I mean, even though 6 million square feet is a pin drop in the world, it's more than we've ever seen.
It's a huge carbon footprint.
It is a very big carbon footprint.
I agree. I mean, I'm with you. Everybody's got the same thing. The biggest problems the data centers got is my wife's doing a pineapple upside down cake. I don't think the upside down part worked real well.
I bet it's still good though. I love pineapple upside down cake.
But she's sure doing a lot of cussing and flipping shit around over there. Is that? God dang it! I forgot what I was going to say. The 6,000 square feet or 6 million square feet or whatever it is, that's still a bunch of land, and there's a big carbon
Yes.
footprint that's going to happen on that. But the problem is the data center people never ever come clear what they're doing. Everybody
No.
signs the NDA, and they don't want to do this and that, and there's a lot of people that don't trust them,
Well, it's just
and
like
that
the
hurts.
NSA.
Yes, same deal.
I don't like this. This has been a hot topic for I think our whole lives, and we never saw the beginning of it because of how old we are. Why do we not own our rights? Like our online footprint. Why do we not? Why do we have to sign away our data? Why is our data not our data? And why is that not something that they fight for? Because all of that information they take from us, they use to sell us ads. We should get a kickback from that, shouldn't we?
The
Yeah, you
internet
can
At
talk.
alone.
least.
You can talk about what the other day I was looking at how much hamburger meat McDonald's uses.
Hmm.
Okay, talking about it. So then I get to my phone and I put how much hamburger meat does McDonald's use in a year? 700 million pounds.
Hmm.
But my phone brung that up before I ever put anything about McDonald's in because they were listening and the
Yep.
Hmm.
algorithms there. But that's I don't have an answer to that, but I see people all the time. We're not going to sell your data. Your data's been sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything you've ever put on the internet and things you didn't even put on the internet are all there. Like
It's the exact same thing as your cloud storage on an
my
iPhone.
mother
I mean,
has
it's shared.
made a
You're not the only person that knows who you are anymore.
No,
Mhm. My mother has made a point since the computer became a thing, since our big gateway computer with the cow print and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't thought about them in a long time.
Yeah.
No,
I thought that was Dell.
that
Oh,
was
it was
gateway.
Gateway.
Oh, okay.
So she made a point to never put her social anything online ever, even if it was something for work, even if it was something medical. She still got her shit stolen
Well,
somehow.
so here's the thing with that. When you go to file, so say you buy a car, you got to put your social down, right, for the loan
They got
agreement.
hacked. Is what it is.
No. Well, yes. Where does the paperwork go? Into a copier, into a scanner. It goes right onto the internet,
Yeah.
right onto a computer.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everything
Yeah.
about you.
Yes.
I bought some Meta glasses, the Ray-Ban ones.
I have them. Ryan got them for me.
I love them, man. I love them things. They're cool as shit. Supposedly, there's a bunch of little dot heads over there that can watch everything you do.
I wouldn't doubt it. There's a camera inside an AI piece of
I'm
equipment.
gonna start
Yes,
doing horrible
Yeah.
shit, so they have to
it's kind of
watch
like
it.
OnStar.
Yeah,
You know, the
yeah,
OnStar
yeah.
people, but them some bitches can look into it. I talk shit all the time about Barack Obama and Michelle's big pecker all the time.
Yeah.
It's along.
Man,
Big Mike.
I think I
Yep.
can safely say that we are all on a list somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know we are. I'm assuming you are.
Oh yeah, we're way down that list.
Well, Jeff, real quick before we get running, I do want to ask you one thing about the podcast. You guys have been doing the state land deal. You had a really good friend Riley on. What?
Did you rip ass?
No,
Something was fucking stinky. Something is stinky.
I didn't rip ass. How'd you guys get in? Like, how'd you guys get the idea to do something like that?
We had done some public hunting podcasts 5, 6 years ago, but we would just randomly do it. And I was thinking about something to do because we did today. Last year we did a today series, and it was over somebody was born, died, and an
Mm-hmm.
event that took place. That was 5 days a week. And a lot of times when we're gone out of town, we're having to do shit 10, 15 days ahead. And I thought, I'm going to replace it with something. And I said, I'm going to do a public land segment. So I went to Shin and they sponsor everything. I said, hey, we're going to do this public land segment. Would you be interested in it? And boom, they did.
That's awesome. Yeah, and
And
I
that's,
like because it definitely shines a light on a lot of stuff.
I have caught more hell over that than any podcast we've done. In 9 years of doing podcasts, I get my ass chewed out every week about the public land segment.
What? Just some dumbass on the internet that thinks he knows
Somebody,
more than.
somebody's mad because whoever was on there didn't say what happens to them, or they mention a lake name, or
Ah.
and we always say Lake Winnipesaukee. Don't care where you're hunting at. Just say Lake Winnipesaukee. And this last time, it's because, or a couple of weeks ago, I said I understand why people in certain states like having limited for people to come there on the days they can hunt. If you live in a state and you pay local taxes on a local lake, it's not fair for you to not be able to use your lake because you get
Yeah.
pushed out by out of staters.
Yep.
So if 3 days a week they don't let out of staters hunt, I think that's fair and it's honest. It's the way I
Yeah.
feel about it. Well, one guy got pissed off at me about it. I'm like, well, listen, that's my opinion. I am
Well,
an
that guy
outfitter.
probably travels the other state 3/4 of the season.
Yeah.
He does, and he
Yeah.
paid to private hunt, so he was doing the same thing an outfitter does. And then a lot of people think that I'm trying to push everybody to have to hunt with outfitters. Care who you hunt with. That's each state's different, and I wish we had more people hunting.
Yeah,
And
so do
I
I.
hate that hunters fight amongst themselves so much.
It's the same thing. So we got really big into trapping the last couple of years, and what we're seeing with the trapping culture is trappers kill trappers. Trappers kill trapping. The only thing we do to kill ourselves is give the media, the liberals, whoever it is fire.
Yes.
All we do by arguing amongst ourselves, doing dumb shit, to waterfowlers, deer hunters, whatever it is, all you're doing with that inner turmoil is giving somebody else ammunition.
Yet the anti-hunters, we don't help ourselves any. Do you know about what's going on in Oregon?
I don't.
Oregon's got a bill they're trying to pass right now that would basically wipe out all hunting, fishing, and farming in the state of Oregon. Those granola
Really?
crunching, tofu eating liberal fucks out there don't realize that their food doesn't come from a grocery store. It comes from a farmer or a rancher.
What is what does it say to limit all that?
It's they're wanting to just take out. I think it's House Bill 1208. I just read it the other day, but it's how them liberals are in Oregon, and they're probably gonna Portland's got more population than anywhere else does,
my God.
and the Democrats are for it, but they basically want to take out hunting and fishing because it's cruel to animals.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Portland is
yeah.
very
Portland
close.
is close to making nuclear weapons. Do what you have to do.
Yeah. That's
Portland
where we
and
are.
Seattle, probably the
That's
worst
where-
cities in America.
Yes, in a beautiful place. Both of them are.
I mean,
Oh,
there's Seattle.
we talked to a dude from Oregon. We
Yep.
need to have him on
Yeah.
to talk about that.
Buddy Tanner.
Yeah.
But and I've heard so many times up until the late 2010s that Seattle was beautiful. It was an
Seattle-
amazing city to go to.
Seattle's still a beautiful place, but it is overran with weirdos.
Yeah. Well,
I had a lady.
Yeah.
I had a shim. I don't know if it's a man or a woman.
Shim.
Me and Michelle were on the wharf there by Pike's Market and walking down, and this guy, whatever the fuck it was like, "Do you support me having the right? They're taking away my transgender rights." And I looked at him. I go, "What?" He goes, "I'm going to lose my rights." I said, "Rights to what?" "I'm going to lose my rights because I'm transgender." I said, "You got a right to get your ass and go to fucking work and pay taxes just like I do. They ain't taking shit from you."
I will never understand the feminist, the trans, all of that. Their whole argument is that we don't have rights. You had a fucking right to go do it.
Yeah.
Nobody stopped you from cutting your nuts off. Nobody stopped you from getting breast implants. What else are they stopping you from doing?
Yeah. You got every right I have. You're just a fucked up person.
And it's so funny watching those interviews. And as soon as somebody says that question right there, what right do you not have that I have? What can you do that I can't do? And what's the first thing they say? Well, I feel like insert whatever.
They have no clue what's going on in the world. No life skills.
Nope.
They'll find out, especially if it gets bad.
Yeah.
They'll find out.
Well, they better hope somebody like one of us is around to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Amen to that.
I think there's enough of us as a generalization.
I ain't protecting them.
No. But to argue against that.
You wouldn't let someone else go in and hurt them.
Exactly.
No.
Because that's just being a good person.
Yeah. I think, and I said the comment before, I think there's greater evil than greater good. But I do think there's enough good, and if we're just talking about the U.S., I think there's enough good in the country to not sink the ship.
I think you're right.
And I do think, and what I've seen on social media is, not everybody's Christian, not everybody believes in God. I do. I do think there is a resurgence of that coming forth, and
Yeah,
I
the
love to see it.
Christianity's coming back, and you know what?
Yes.
It's pretty simple. If you don't believe in God, you're not a Christian. You're gonna burn in hell. Pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I think it's a good thing we're seeing that because, and even if you remove religion from the aspect of it, I think the Bible is one of the greatest teaching platforms in the entire world. I
Agree,
got
100%.
into I got into reading the Bible years ago, and I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. I'm not. I'm very far from it. I got into reading the Bible like 2014, 2015 as a motivational piece. It's very uplifting if you believe what it says, and from there I just ran with it.
Well, I'm a reader, and I'll get to about page 77, and I just every time I have tried and tried and tried and tried. I cannot read the Bible at all, and I believe in God. I love history. I love script, everything about it, but I just
It's
cannot
hard.
read the Bible. It's just I get
So
all
let are
gung ho and fire up at about page 77. And next thing I know, I'm starting again 3 years later on page one, and about page 77, I'm done again.
are you a big reader of books? Do,
Yes,
do
I
you
read
like?
a lot. I love to
Have
read.
you have you read any Phil Robertson's books?
No, but I know Phil a long time, so I don't know if I'll ever read him.
There's a book, and I just started reading it, and it to this day might be one of the best books I've ever read, and I'm only on page like 80. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I think everybody should read that book. He uses real life translations from the Bible to today's world,
I may have to
and it's
check it out then.
all true. I do think it's a really good book. And obviously you have to know Phil to understand, or not know Phil, but you have to understand Phil to understand what he's trying to tell you. Yeah.
Well, he created quite a legacy, and I
Yes.
told Willie at Ducks last year, and I don't know Willie at all. I knew Phil, but I told Willie, I said, "Let me tell you something about your dad. Your dad did more to put hunters, kids hunting than anyone in forever, and that was a great thing."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love the whole. I love everything about Duck Commander and what it stands for. I loved everything about Phil and what Phil stood for. A lot of people might tell you he was an extremist and everything like that, but I think the message that Phil sent was one of the most wholehearted messages ever. God
Phil,
first, family second, love your neighbor.
yeah, Phil was himself. He
Mm-hmm.
lived a rough life early in his life, and a lot. That's your best lessons. It's like an old man. You want an old man that's going to be having good stories. Then he has to do some stupid shit when he was young to have good stories.
You gonna
So
have some good stories, Jeff?
I got a lot of stories. I've done a lot of stupid shit in my life. Lots.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, you got anything else you want to argue about?
No, I think I'm good. I'll come up with more stuff for next time.
Jeff, you got
Any,
anything else you want to talk about?
no, everything's good. Enjoy y'all's Saturday afternoon. I've had a good time. I appreciate you guys having me on. I'd love to do it anytime.
Absolutely. Well,
Thanks
why
for
don't you,
coming
real
on.
quick, before we get off, plug Stanfield Outdoors, plug the podcast.
Podcast, the Big Honker Podcast. Have a show, a new series coming out called The First Family of Waterfowl. Comes out in July. Uh, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters in Knox City. We've been in business for 35 years. Family business. We're about as family as you can get. Podcast. We have 3 podcasts per week. Not politically correct. You can tell by listening to me on here. And if anybody's any questions, we've got some deer dates left. I got some waterfowl dates. We've got a big boss dove hunt we do in September. Come out 3 days dove hunting, lodge and meals, 750. Shoot some new boss shot shells. Will be come out the new dove loads, and then we have a goose hunt. We do a boss goose hunt. All these hunts are set up for ones and twos that come together, and then we've got a shin gear hunt. It's November 30th, December 1st and 2nd, and we'll be filming TV on both of those hunts.
Awesome. Like I said, we
Nice.
really appreciate you coming on. We love having you on, and we're excited for the next time.
Yeah, thank
Hey, I'm
you.
gonna tell you before I get off here real quick.
Go
Philadelphia's got
ahead.
one of the coolest things ever. If you're a history buff, you got to go see the Easton Prison.
Oh, the Eastern Penitentiary?
Yes, what a cool place.
Oh, I was just talking about that the other day. A guy at work. I want to get there.
Hmm.
What's the better? What's the better cheese sandwich? Would you
None of
like?
Neither.
them.
Neither.
What's
Prince's
the
is the
one
best.
then? Is that the old?
Prince's.
Is that the like deli in town, the store?
It's in North Philly.
Pick a deli in Philly that has Dietz and Watson on the sign. Get a cheesesteak from there.
John's roast pork is the shit too, but their lines are always really long.
Cooper sharp cheese, mushrooms, fried onions.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to try that then.
Mm-hmm. If you come up here, let us know. We'll take you. I'll take you to John's roast pork.
I was going to go watch Bryce pitch for the Braves, and I thought about going to San Francisco, but they also played in Philly, and I'd like to go to Philly to go to a game one time just to see how bad the fans really are.
So a Phillies game, not bad. Phillies.
Everybody's nice at a Phillies game. It's the Eagles.
Flyers, Eagles, and Sixers is where there's going to be some
violence.
I can't say what I wanted to say, but yeah, some uprising.
My oldest grandson Reese is a huge Eagles fan, and I'd like to take him to watch him play the Cowboys so we can both go for the Eagles.
I got spit on at a Cowboys-Eagles game.
I'd like
He's
to go
a
to
Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Well, you got another long year ahead of you.
Very long year. I'm not excited about.
The Dallas Cowboys on February 20th. Super Bowl favorites till about September 10th. And all of a sudden, they're not favorite no more.
Week 2, we're out.
Yep.
Well, thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
You guys have a good day. God bless y'all.
You too.
Bye.
Let me end it over here.
I did want to. Oh, I was gonna ask him if he comes to Philly.